Mum, what on earth are you up to?
Oh, Harvey, I was just looking to see if you'd left any of them ration books in a safe place.
Oh, you're not still on about them, are you? How many times have I got to tell you?
Oh, I know. Ooh, my knees are giving me jip. Give us a hand up, will you? Oh. No. I was only looking just in case.
In case what?
Well, in case I found one of them.
Oh, Mum, that is my best suit. It don't need pressing again. They just rushed me 1 and threepence down the cleaners for that.
All right. You won't be needing that tonight anyway.
Why not?
Well, that Frank What's-his-name from the thingy came round earlier on with a note for you. There's to be an emergency meeting of the executive committee.
You opened a note addressed to me?
Wait, it was only folded over. It could have been urgent.
Could have been personal.
Well, it wasn't, was it?
Wait till I tell Frida. She's going to be well pleased. What do they want to hold a meeting on New Year's Eve for, anyway?
Perhaps they want to make some New Year's resolutions.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Jeff. You rang the wrong bell again.
Hey?
Theirs is the top flat. It's the top bell.
Oh, yeah. I've done it before, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
Hello, Jeff. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah, Happy New Year.
Oh, Jeff, you don't look too happy.
I'm thinking about tomorrow.
So, what happens tomorrow?
New Year's Day?
No, it's nationalisation, isn't it?
Nothing wrong with that. For once, the workers are going to have a say.
Oh, you don't believe that load of old cods, do you, Harvey?
Instead of being told what
Have
to do...
you seen them new uniforms? And them daft new hats? Say nothing of our lovely maroon old engines all painted a diabolical shade of green.
What's wrong with green?
There's a lot wrong with green. Our once proud London, Midland and Scottish, obliterated by British bleeding railways. Oh, pardon my French.
French?
Anyway, I'm glad I'm retired, that's all I can say, Harvey. I'm going to cheer myself up with your mum. I brought a little present.
I won't ask what it is.
I'll give you a clue.
No, you don't look too happy either, Harvey.
No, I've got a lot on my mind. I made an agreement with Rita about the divorce and she's gone and broken it.
Well, what was the agreement?
Adultery.
And what's she broken it to?
Desertion.
To me, one is the same as the other. Is there some legal difference?
That's not the point. Adultery's got, well, a human feel to it. Temptations of the flesh, all that. But desertion conjures up a picture of a man cold-bloodedly walking out and his wife and kids. Makes me sound a right bastard.
Oh, Harvey, vanity, vanity.
Oh, I've got my position to think of.
Well, why don't you talk to her? Perhaps you can change her mind.
Change her what? Yeah, this won't be her idea. Her divorce lawyer, my friend and employer, Mr. Dick Elliott, will be the brains behind this one. I bet he won't have the bottle to show up at the meeting tonight.
What meeting?
There's been an emergency meeting called for the executive committee. They've sent me a note. I've got to go.
What, tonight? What can be the emergency tonight?
I won't know till I get there, will I?
So this means cancelling our dinner?
I could go on for hours.
Oh, Harvey, I'm so disappointed. It's New
Year's Eve. I knew you'd be choked.
I was listening to that.
No, you weren't. You were looking at yourself in the mirror.
I can't listen and look. I can't do two things at once. If I say I was listening, I was listening.
Well, I don't see the point of programmes like that.
Just to remind you of everything that's happened over the past year.
What do you want reminding for?
In case you've forgotten.
Well, that's stupid, because I never wanted to know in the first place.
Yeah, well, when you're older, Stanley, you'll realise that the past can teach you things. That's why intelligent people like programmes like that.
Yeah, well, they can't be very intelligent if they can't remember what's happened in the last year without a wireless programme on it.
You're in a mood, Stanley. Why?
Well, it's all this New Year's Eve stuff. I mean, what's the excitement about? It's not like Christmas. You don't get any presents or nothing.
I told you it's a time for looking back, for taking stock.
Well, I thought that's what you did in the saloon.
You've been a clever dick again, Stanley.
Hello, Mrs. Moon. Hello, Veronica. I'm going to get my frock on.
I bet nobody ever tells you you're a clever dick, do they, Veronica?
Sorry. No, they don't, Stanley.
So what are you wearing tonight?
Well, I thought I'd wear me pink taffeta.
Oh, nice. You sure you don't mind me not coming with you? And we've got this table booked at a special restaurant up west.
It's all right, Megs. I'm going with Big Doris from the Johnny Factory.
Is she still there?
Yeah. They've all been hard at it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was extra production Christmas and New Year, wasn't it? Especially New Year.
Why's that?
Why? You should know, don't you remember? More get used. In fact, I've been told that New Year's Eve is one of the biggest nights in the year for it.
For what?
You know.
No, I don't.
Sometimes, Stanley, you're not such a clever dick.
How do I look?
Oh, smashing.
You look really lovely, Mum.
Yeah, I hope I look as good as you do when I get to your age.
Is that why you're going out then, Mum? New Year's Eve, big night, eh?
Stanley!
Hey?
Hello, Dick. Happy New Year.
And to you, Harvey.
You're showing great dedication. I'd have bet with myself you wouldn't show up tonight.
Yes, well, some things are more important than New Year's Eve.
Yeah, well, you try and tell him Frida that. I promised to take her out tonight.
Oh, dear. Harvey, meeting's here tonight. The sooner we're started, the sooner we're finished.
That's exactly what I said to Frida. Ah, there you are. Well, no need for formalities, since this is an informal meeting. Sit down, Harvey. Nobody wants to be here any longer than necessary. Now, look, Harvey, there's a press campaign to discredit the party in this borough, and I've got to say it, you've been one of their best allies.
Me?
Williamson from the Gazette has got it in for us.
And some of your antics lately have given him plenty of copy.
He's even been round to see Dick to check on your record at work.
How did you know about that?
Now, Dick was right to inform the committee. If the press is trying to make trouble for us, we've got to know about it to stop it.
All right, so the Gazette's got it in for us, but you can't blame me for that.
But you've given them a lot of ammunition. That case involving the stolen ration books didn't look good.
Irene, that was a set-up job, nothing to do with me.
But it was your name connected with it. Then there was the funny coincidence of you being right there when a Tory councillor tries to commit suicide.
I did save the man's life, even though he was a Tory. How can that be bad for the Hackney Labour Party?
It's your involvement in these controversial areas that worries us.
I haven't done anything.
Theft, suicide, not the sort of issues we want the party associated with.
In fact, with the amount of publicity you're getting the Tories, perhaps you ought to join them.
Look, Irene...
Then there's the matter of your forthcoming divorce.
How did you know
You
about
know, the
that?
party could be deeply embarrassed by revelations about your private life.
Oh, I've got one, have I?
Only you over the moon and under the sun. I've fallen over now.
Let me help you.
Thank you. No, don't tickle my feet. I've got sensitive feet. Now, you put the record on. I'll get the drinks.
Well, Rita, got the faintest suspicion in my mind that you're just the slightest bit tipsy.
No, I'm absolutely blotto.
Oh, well, it didn't impair your dancing. You were unquestionably the best dancer there.
Oh, we were the best dancer there. Oh, now that's nice. Now, that reminds me. Yes, you know during Old Lang Syne, when we were all kissing each other,
Yes.
and I got landed with that Boris Karloff, you remember that?
I do.
Well, I think that you spent rather a long time over that little blonde girl he was with in the pink dress.
Whatever I did, Rita, it was either the lateness of the hour or the drink.
I see. Well, it's much later now, love. You've had a lot more to drink. There you are, you see, you can!
He can what, Mum? He's in the kitchen.
Stan, you go back to bed, love.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year, Mum!
Have you had a good evening?
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I was smashing. I went to a lovely restaurant up Shaftesbury Avenue for a Scotty.
Scott is what I'm impressed.
I'm sure you've heard of it
Of
then.
course I have, it's famous.
Yeah, the food was all Italian. It was quite nice, though. And they had lovely bands. You all right, Mum? No, she's drunk.
We're both drunk.
There we are, and I think it's high time we called it a day.
Yeah, I think it's time we all went to bed.
Do you?
Stanley, we got my foot. Oh, you're no good, sis. Mum, you show us moves.
Oh, I'm sorry, love, you've got too much competition.
Jeff. Oh, all right. You give me a nasty shock for a minute. Yeah, you all right?
Yeah, right as rain. Isn't raining, is it?
Raining? No.
Oh, had me worried. Which? That's all gone. All gone.
I'm not surprised the state of you. Does Mum know you're still here?
Yeah, she was with me. She went to bed, left me at it. Yeah. I was going home. I never got there.
No, you didn't, did you?
Wonderful woman, that Violet.
I know.
Wonderful invention, women, Harvey.
I know.
Together for 37 years, me and my Rose.
I know, don't you think...
And in all that time, I never looked at another woman. It'd be just the same with Violet. You know, Harvey. You haven't got a bottle of beer lying about, have you?
I haven't, no. And if you have any more, I don't think you'll be able to get home.
Oh, we're past getting home.
Oh, are we?
Oh, yeah, stopping here tonight.
Well, I don't know where you can sleep, Jeff. I suppose I could...
Who's that?
Hello, Mum.
Oh, Harvey, I must have nodded off. I've been waiting for you to get back. How's Jeff?
Well, he's not going to fall over and hurt himself, if that's what you mean.
It does you no credit to make fun of an old man, Harvey.
Well, he has been at the sauce a bit, hasn't he?
Oh, it is New Year's Eve. Where's your Christian charity? Aren't you? I didn't know he snored like that.
Happy New Year,
Having a bit of trouble here, Governor?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I am.
Excuse me, sir. Did I just see you come out of the gentleman's conveniences on Jameson Street?
What if you did?
And I must ask you to accompany me to the police station.
Beg your pardon?
To answer a few questions.
So you didn't have a very good evening, huh? But they ruined it for you, did
you? No, I mean, if I'd spent the evening with Harvey, I wouldn't have seen Adrian and his friends. Anyway, I don't think Harvey will get on so well with them.
And you weren't ashamed to telephone Adrian at the last minute and say you changed your mind?
Eric, these are not formal people. Adrian didn't mind. He was pleased to hear from me.
And what did you do?
A friend of Adrian's, a writer, was having a dinner party and he took me there.
Yeah, what happened?
It was a beautiful house, interesting people.
So perhaps you had a better evening than with Harvey?
No. No.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Oh, morning, Mrs. Moon. Happy New Year's Day. Oh, do you like this one?
No.
Oh.
Keep your voice down, please, love.
Why?
Because I've got a head like a wasp's nest.
Oh.
That's why. You're not Janice.
Oh, I meant to tell you she phoned up.
Oh.
She said she's not feeling very well, but she'll try and get in before dinner time.
Oh, I wonder what's wrong with her.
Must have been something she ate, eh?
Still, I don't suppose it matters. We're not going to be rushed off our feet today, are we?
Did you have a good night?
Yeah. Thanks.
You know, I went to the town hall dance. Do you want to hear what happened to me?
You're going to tell me anyway, aren't you, love?
Well, only if you want to know. I met this smashing bloke. He was like Michael Wilding, only on a smaller scale, like.
How much smaller?
Well, he come up to my shoulders. Anyway, he was ever so good looking. And we was getting on really well. And then right near the end of the night, when we was doing the anniversary waltz, he came over all sort of queer like. So I went to get him a drink of water, but when I come back, I see his sister was helping him home.
His sister?
Well, I asked him who she was when she kept smiling at him earlier on, like.
Oh, Veronica.
Humbug.
Thank you. Oh.
This is very formal.
Yeah, well, I like to do things properly.
It's also very short.
It contains all the essential information. 4 weeks' notice from Friday. What more do you need?
I'd like to know why. Meeting last night.
That's part of it, yeah.
What's the other part?
The job. When I come here, I thought I was going to do something legal. I mean, I know I haven't got the education to become a solicitor, but I don't see myself as a 40-year-old office boy.
It's never been an ambition of mine to have a 40-year-old office boy. My plans
Then
for
there's
you,
last
Harvey.
night as well. I'm afraid I lost a bit of trust in you in that committee room, Dick. I think it's very bad timing. Well, telling him about my divorce.
How would you have timed it?
I'd have waited for things to have blown over.
Things? Harvey, your life's becoming like a seedy footnote in some gossip column. I was defending, in my small way, the future of the Labour movement. Albeit in sun-drenched Hackney. I wasn't putting your feelings, whatever they may be, above the needs and demands of the party.
Yeah, but that is my private life. What about the principle of confidentiality?
What about it? I merely told them the proceedings were underway. I didn't discuss the details of the case. I wouldn't do that. Confidential, you're not my client. Rita is my client.
Yeah, well, you know how I feel about that and all, don't you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, Mrs. Harris.
Morning, Maggie. Mr. Brandon not in yet?
Oh, you'll be lucky. Him and Mum were out half the night having her knees up. He could hardly stand up when I went to bed.
Oh, really? As bad as that, was it?
Yeah, I reckon if you want to see him, you should come back tea time. He might have his eyes open then.
Well, look, it doesn't matter. I'll leave it with you, then. I just wanted to ask him about getting this remodelled.
Oh, it depends on what style you want it done in. Excuse me. Hello, Madam Phyllis. Oh, hello, Leo. What?
What did you do? Did you go to the pictures? Or did you go dancing? Did you sing Old Lang Syne? We did. Mind you, I got into a terrible tangle crossing my arms. Well, you see, the bloke next to me was facing the wrong way, and I must have tugged him a bit too hard, because by the time they found him...
Hello, happy girl? Maggie? Maggie? What? Leo, he's been what? Where? Oh, my... I don't know, hang on.
About £4.
Look, give it to Veronica.
Maggie, I'm coming down.
I don't want you anywhere near that police station. Look, Leo's in enough trouble as it is.
Hello. Megs! Leo's been what? Where? Oh. Well, I'm a bit short. All right. I can manage to raise a fiver somehow.
Still don't get what he's done.
Oh, I don't know why they have to keep you waiting like this.
Maggie, what's Leo done?
I told you he was arrested after he come out the gents.
You see, that's what I don't understand. Now, if he'd been in the ladies, well, fair enough. But why would they arrest him for going into the gents?
Because there was another person involved.
Oh, a woman, you mean?
No, a man.
So Leo was arrested for going into the gents with another man. Well, that can't be right. We've been in the toilet together. We ain't never been arrested for it.
Here we go.
So, what can we do for you?
We've come to bail somebody out.
Have you now? One of our New Year's Eve collection, is it?
So, Mr. Brandon.
Got the cash, have you?
Yeah, I've got it here.
Better start filling this out. Young lady's come for our New Year's Eve, Section 11.
Hope he's all right.
Of course he is. He wasn't exactly the victim, you know.
He wasn't anything.
He has been charged, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, my dad says you're innocent until you prove guilty in this country.
All right, keep your hair on.
Yeah, well, that's what we fought the war over, innit? Freedom from being put away about trial and all that lot.
What regiment were you in?
That'll do, Evans. I'll go and tell Mr. Brandon that Miss Moon has come to fetch him. Right. Let's see the colour of your money.
Harvey, have you got a moment, please? Freda, he's here.
What's up?
We want to talk to you.
Harvey, we've had the papers here.
Papers?
Well, this rather unpleasant man from the Gazette.
Yeah, he came to the bakery also.
No.
I thought he was going to talk about some political things, but no. He wants to talk about you and Frida. Personal things. I threw him out.
Good for you, Eric.
He's got this address, Harvey. It wasn't so easy for me. I mean, why does he ask such personal questions? It was awful. I had trouble getting rid of him.
Yeah, that's all we need. A man running after us like this.
Sorry, Eric. It's my fault.
Look, Harvey, all I am saying is you are a counsellor. Please do something.
What can I do? It's me he's after. Bet you don't have this bubble with your Adrian, eh?
Oh, no, Harvey, please, you promised.
So I left immediately and he followed me out. I decided it was stupid to get involved in a slanging match, so I just walked away. A few minutes later, I was stopped by a policeman, and before I knew where I was being accused of homosexual importuning.
Do you mean Joshua Shropshire?
No, Rita, nothing happened at all. He simply lied to the police and I was charged.
Well, he'd take it back, wouldn't he?
I don't think he can now, it's too late.
Yeah, as soon as he comes to court, it's going to be obvious he was lying.
Yes, but I can't count on that. Oh, God, Rita, I could go to jail for God knows how long.
Well, they'll catch him out. We've got to get the best lawyer we can. I'll get Harvey to speak to Dick in the morning.
No, I don't think they'll be interested.
Yes, they will. They're both in the Labour Party.
Why do I always lose them?
This could be a tragedy.
Easily. Where have I put me keys?
I mean, if he gets put inside, Maggie will lose her job. And there's all that work that Rita's put into the dancing with him.
What about the poor geezer himself? He could end up in prison.
Poor soul. It's a shame they can't castrate them.
Mum.
Well, look at all the trouble it'd save.
It's a bit late for that now.
You going out again?
Anyway, we don't even know if he did it.
Well, now, why'd the police nick him if he didn't do it?
Have you seen my keys?
They're on the mantelpiece.
Right, son.
Yes, thanks, Councillor Moon.
Hey?
Oh, I'm from the Gazette, actually, Mr. Williamson. I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
You following me?
Well, I just want to clear up 1 or 2 points of public interest.
Don't give me all that public interest. You just want to dig the dirt. And while we're at it, keep away from the Gottliebs, all right?
Does your wife live round here somewhere, Councillor Moon? You got 2 on the go, have you?
You took your bleeding time.
I had to come a different route. I'm being followed.
Are they after you and all? Must be catchy.
Not the police. The Hackney Gazette, that fascist rag you read.
Got good recipes. Right, what you going to do?
What can I do?
He's going to need a good solicitor.
You got one, haven't you? Or does he only do divorce?
That's very funny, Harvey.
Well, there's not much I can do, is there?
Yeah, there is. First thing, tomorrow morning, you go in, you see Dick Elliott, you get him to arrange to see Leo as soon as possible.
Well, can't Nancy boy do that himself?
Oi! He is going to need sympathetic treatment, Harvey. He could go to prison, right?
All right. There's one question I've got to ask you. Did he do it?
Of course not.
How'd you know?
He told me.
Oh, they'll love that. That'll get him off. I mean, you and I know that they...
Look, that was a long time ago. That was before they sold the greyhound.
Yeah, but I can make it right in him myself. We both know that he's...
Look, he's gone off him. All right? And even if he hadn't, it's not Leo's style, is it? He's got class. He wouldn't be happy in a toilet. He'd only just left here.
You know him well?
Not really, no.
Is he homosexual?
I wouldn't know, would I?
Does he look homosexual?
I don't know what they look like.
All right, Harvey. Answer me this. Is he a man whose word can be trusted?
I'd say definitely, yeah.
Well, it'll definitely go to assizes, won't it? He'll need counsel. Yeah, the trouble is, not many are prepared to take on cases like this. Oh. Got the right man.
You take him on, then?
Yes.
Well, that'll set a few minds at rest.
Oh, you said you wanted to do some legal work.
Yeah?
Well, why not prepare the papers for this case?
Won't that look bad for the Labour Party? Me being involved with a case about a Nancy boy?
I don't see why. You've been involved with everything else lately.
I've told you, Joshua, he's not here. Yes, I'll give him the message. He says he's sorry.
Wonderful.
Well, don't you think you should speak to him?
I have nothing to say to him.
Perhaps he wants to take it all back.
It's too late now. It's a police prosecution. He's merely a witness.
Yeah, but what if you was to show that he was, well, what you are? Well, what you were? Oh, God, well, then he'd be prosecuted as well, wouldn't he?
What good would that do me? It would merely...
Yeah, drop you further in it.
Precisely.
They're using the Criminal Law Amendment Act, 1885, Section 11, outrages on decency. Any male person who in public or private commits or is a party to the commission of or procures or attempts to procure the commission by any male person of any act of gross indecency with another male person, wonderful use of language, these Victorians, shall be guilty of a misdemeanour and being convicted thereof shall be liable at the discretion of the court to be imprisoned for any term not exceeding 2 years with or without hard labour. Now, I understand that you know the witness.
Oh, yes, we were friends and partners in a racing greyhound. Then the partnership broke up acrimoniously.
I see. So this is a malicious accusation prompted by the breakup of this greyhound partnership thing.
Well, a malicious accusation, certainly.
Yes. Now, understand this, Mr. Brandon. I've got to ask you this. Is there any truth in this charge at all?
None whatsoever. The account I've written out for you is exactly what happened.
So we made it all up?
Yes.
But on that night, on that New Year's Eve, nothing illegal happened between you and Mr. Walton?
Absolutely nothing. But how do I prove that?
It won't be easy. I won't raise your hopes. It'll come down to his word against yours. And we'll be in for a difficult time trying to show that he lied out of malice without being able to show some sort of cause for the malice.
I see.
You're going to need a very good barrister, Mr. Brandon.
If I get hold of that Joshua, I'll wring his bleeding neck.
It's a bit late for that now. It's coming to court.
And Dick really doesn't think there's much of a chance?
Doesn't seem that optimistic, no.
What's Leo done then?
Have you got any homework to do, Stanley?
It's the school holidays off.
Oh, yeah. Can't you go and play up?
No, it's cold out.
Well, put your coat on.
Well, it's dark as well.
Look, Stanley, your father and I want to talk something over.
Look, just what's Leo done?
Stanley, would you go in your bedroom and read your comics, please?
No, I don't see why I shouldn't read in here and you lot go and talk in the bedroom.
Stanley.
It's cold in the bedroom.
Then go in the kitchen.
Yeah, make us a cup of tea.
Oh, all right, I'll go in the bedroom. Right.
We can't let Leo go to prison.
Dick says that what he really needs is a good character witness to take the jury's mind off the details.
How is he?
He's ever so depressed.
What about one of his customers?
What about you?
Me?
Yeah, you're a counsellor, fine upstanding citizen.
For those who don't know you?
Nah, I might have to perjure myself, and I
couldn't do that.
Anyway, I don't think a man in my position would be a good character witness for him.
Well, what position's that?
Well, a man who's being sued for divorce on grounds of desertion. I wouldn't trust the word of a man who did that sort of thing, would you?
I thought we was talking about Leo.
I'll give in. I'll make the tea.
I don't believe me sometimes.
Huh?
I'm really stupid.
Huh.
I know who'd make a good character witness for Leo.
Who?
Me!
How many people applied for the job? Oh, well, not to worry.
Harvey!
No, it's not for me. It's for a mate of mine. Bye.
Great job. Preparing the papers for the Brandon case. Great job.
Thanks.
It's a future for you in legal work, Harvey.
Bit late for that now.
No, it isn't. I should have made an effort to see that your talents were put to much better use earlier on. I'm suggesting we do something about it now.
No, Dick, I don't think so.
Look, I'm prepared to admit. I'm fully prepared to admit.
I don't want to discuss it. As far as I'm concerned, what's done is done. It's a matter of principle.
See, it's got to be something the men like. Because they're all men, even the judges.
And you don't want to show off. Most men don't like show-offs.
I could do with something new, really. I wonder if Harvey's got any of them knocked-off coupons left.
He told you that was nothing to do with him.
It's a shame I could have done with some of those. Stanley, you'll have to get your own tea tomorrow. I'm going to call.
Oh, you and Dad will be divorced then?
No, this is Leo's case, isn't it?
What, he's getting divorced?
No.
Is it about the shop?
No.
Is it about the dog?
No. Look, Stanley, it's a grown-up's problem, right? So when you're grown up, if you ever are, then you'll find out about it. Now then. Oh, no.
Quite. So, you knew Mr. Brandon well?
Of course.
And yet you never suspected that he harboured any unhealthy feelings towards you?
No. Never.
That's my son.
Oh, don't he look nice in that wig?
No, not him. The one looking for the papers.
Out of the blue.
Oh, you mean the one behind the one with the wig?
No, he's not doing nothing.
I'm not sure which one you mean.
The one behind the one behind the one with the wig. The good-looking one.
Which is the good-looking
I
one?
understand that the two of you had intended to go on holiday together to the south of France, I believe.
I think there was talk of something of the kind.
And what happened in the event?
I decided not to go.
Isn't the truth that Mr. Brandon changed his mind and went with a lady friend instead?
It didn't suit me to go.
I suggest that you're lying, Mr. Walton. I suggest that embittered by the failure of your dog racing venture, infuriated by Mr. Brandon cancelling your holiday plans, you've fabricated this ludicrous allegation, fueled by a goodly portion of New Year's Eve alcoholic stimulation. No more questions, my love.
That fellow in court was very odd, I thought.
Yeah.
Looked dead shifty to me.
Yeah, there was something very odd about him. Him having a biblical name and all.
Oh.
That fellow in court.
Oh.
Joshua.
Yeah, oh, very odd.
Aren't you? There's some funny things in Isaiah.
Jeff?
Oh, hello.
Harvey, I thought you were wonderful in court today.
I didn't do anything.
Of course you did. When you gave him those papers what they couldn't find.
Yeah, you were right there with him.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything.
But didn't you tell me you prepared the papers for that case?
Yes.
Well, then...
I thought it was well clever the way he showed it wasn't Leo's 1 over the 8, but that Nancy boy. Now, did you work it out for him?
I can see you've got a great future in the legal profession, Harvey.
No, I haven't. I haven't got any future in it. I've given him my notice. From next Monday, I'm out of work.
What, again?
It's a matter of principle.
Why do you always leave your job on a principle?
British Railways are looking for people.
Jeff.
I think they'll be only too glad to have somebody who likes nationalisation.
Shut up.
Do you live in your own house, Mr. Brandon?
Yes.
Alone?
Yes?
Has that always been the case?
No. Until my mother's death last year, we lived together.
You and your mother?
Yes.
And you were also in business with your mother?
Yes.
Would you please tell the court the nature of that business?
My lord, I really can't see the relevance of this line of questioning.
Perhaps Mr. Stacy will enlighten us. I'm rather baffled myself.
I'm trying to establish a certain style of life which may be a guide to a man's character.
Oh, very well. Carry on.
The nature of the business, Mr. Brandon?
A hat shop.
Ladies' hats?
Yes. The shop was founded by my father.
And you are still in that business?
Yes.
Some might say that doesn't seem on the face of it to be a masculine sort of trade.
It is if you like women, and I do.
This holiday on which you plan to go with Mr. Walton, whose idea was it?
I think it was mine.
Had you previously been on holiday with men friends?
As a younger man, yes.
And then after a gap of many years, you propose a holiday with another man?
I didn't think there was anything strange in that. I simply didn't wish to go alone. Mr. Walton didn't think there was anything strange.
In the course of running your greyhound, you must have seen a great deal of Mr. Walton.
Yes.
And you got on perfectly well.
It was fine.
Mr. Walton has already given evidence that you often had lunches and dinners together. Is that correct?
Sometimes, yes.
And your opinion of Mr. Walton at that time was that he was a man you would like to accompany you on a holiday in the south of France.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Brandon.
Now, Mr. Brandon.
Call Mrs. Moon. Call Mrs. Moon.
I know what I'd like to call her.
Call Mrs. Moon.
It's me then. I'm coming.
Sit down, he's looking at you.
I shan't need that, thank you. I swear by Almighty God...
What do you want to call her for?
Well,
be quiet, we're
the whole
saying.
truth. Could I see that, please? I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
How well do you know Mr. Brandon?
Very well. We go in for competitions together on the dance floor. We're ballroom dancing partners. And I have spent many happy hours in his arms.
You see a good deal of Mr. Brandon.
Yes. And my daughter works for him as well. He's part of the family, really.
And what was your reaction to this charge?
Well, I knew it couldn't be true. I know Mr. Brandon would never do a thing like that.
Were you surprised when he asked you to go on holiday with him last summer?
Not seeing we were so close, no.
But you did know that he'd originally planned to go away with Mr. Walton.
Ah, that was before Mr. Brandon and me were quite so friendly. See, I think that Mr. Walton was really angry when Mr. Brandon told him that he wouldn't go away with...
I must object, Your Honour.
That is hearsay, Mrs. Moon.
Oh, no, it's not. I'm quite sure of it.
Mrs. Moon, please confine yourself to answering the questions that counsel will put to you.
And you spent New Year's Eve with Mr. Brandon?
Yes. We had a lovely evening, dinner and dance, and then he came back to my place for a while.
Did he say anything at all about Mr. Walton, about meeting him later?
No, he hasn't mentioned Mr. Walton for months. I'm sure he wasn't going to meet him. I think Mr. Walton followed him.
Mrs. Moon, the court is not interested in your speculations. The court is only interested in facts.
I'm sorry.
How would you describe your relationship with Mr. Brandon?
Close. Very close.
So what is your reaction to this suggestion that Mr. Brandon is a homosexual?
Believe me, if there was anything to that, I would know about it. I know that Mr. Brandon could never have done whatever Mr. Walton said he did.
Thank you, Mrs. Moon.
Mrs. Moon, on your trip to the south of France with Mr. Brandon, did you share a room with him?
Do I have to answer that?
Oh dear, I wish you would, Mrs. Moon. It would save us all a considerable amount of time.
No. Mr. Brandon would never put a lady in that position. Not that he wouldn't like to, because he would. But he would never compromise you.
Let me be more blunt, Mrs. Moon. Are you or were you and Mr. Brandon lovers?
You mind your own business.
Your Honour, I really can't...
That's a very embarrassing question, Your Honour. You're not supposed to ask me questions like that.
No doubt it is, Mrs. Moon. Nevertheless, you must answer it. And please remember you are on oath.
Very well. I didn't want this to come out, because it is a bit ticklish. But I am involved in getting a divorce. And when my divorce is final, Mr. Brandon and I intend to become man and wife.
I still don't think you've answered my question, Mrs. Moon.
Well, you don't think I'd marry a nasty boy, do you? I mean, I am a normal woman, you know. Honestly.
I did not get the wind up when the fella called out my name in court.
You got the wind up. What about that judge when you shouted out, "I'm coming"?
Yeah, I could hear that from where I was.
Well, serves him right. He was asleep half the time.
Oh, so were you?
Well, I'm allowed to be. I mean, he was supposed to be in charge, wasn't he?
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could just have your attention for a moment. I have what I feel is a most important duty to perform, and that is to propose a toast to the heroine of the hour, Rita.
No, Rita.
Because without her, there's little doubt that this evening I will be drinking at His Majesty's expense.
Did they get beer in jail then?
However, there's one thing I have to point out to you, and that is that something Rita said in court today could lay her open to a charge of perjury. She said that we were to be married, but alas, we're not. However, Rita, I have to thank you for the most beautiful proposal I'm ever likely to have.
All right, George, I'll deal with that later.
No Dick tonight? Or is he only showing up for the Inquisitions now?
He was only doing his duty.
Yeah, that's what the Gestapo used to say.
If you're seriously comparing us...
Frank, can't you take a joke?
Oh, yes, I can take a joke, but I don't find this very funny.
Look, you said yourself that Williamson's after me.
Yes, and you handed him this one on a plate. Councillor's wife in sex scandal case.
Nobody handed him anything. I'm not even involved in the case.
I think the committee will want to discuss this.
Frank, there's nothing to discuss. The geezer was falsely accused and he got off.
Yes, but not before Mrs. Moon had made some extraordinary statements.
I've got no control over her. She opens it up, both feet go in.
Eh?
She's always had a big mouth. There may be a good side to all this.
Well, how do you work that out?
If the divorce goes through, her performance in court will show me in a more sympathetic light.
Well?
Any voter will be able to see that it's impossible to live with a woman like that.
Well, I hope for your sake you're right. Now then, comrades, let's get started.
I'm not just fond of him. I have a great deal of admiration for him, too, for Harvey.
Then why is he so angry with you?
Well, he feels that I betrayed his confidence by telling the party's executive committee that his divorce was coming up. You see, but technically, he's not even my client.
Oh, come on, Richard. Sometimes emotions are more important than technicalities.
Exactly. You're right. I mean, he feels I've let him down, and that's much more important than whether I actually have. That's why I need your help in persuading him to stay.
Well, I don't know if he'll listen to me. Since New Year's Eve, I've hardly seen him.
So I'm afraid I started. That's my fault. The emergency meeting was called because of the information I gave the committee.
Ah.
The fact is, Harvey does have a future in legal work. But I've completely failed in getting him to withdraw his resignation. So, here I am. I'm making a habit of this, don't I?
Excuse me. Hello, Happy Cool? Yes, this is Mrs. Moon speaking. Oh, well, I am sorry, but I'm afraid I can't promise to do the wash myself because I am in rather heavy demand at the moment. Yeah, I'll do my best. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.
My wash said she really admires you for speaking out for the man you love.
Oh, I bet that Joshua would do his nut if he knew the favour he'd done us. Hello, Happy Cool?
The one up
Yes.
here says, can she have your autograph, please?
Here, your new Dad and Nancy boy, then.
You say another word about my mum's boyfriend, I'll smash your teeth down your throat, right?
Stanley, you're late again.
It's me, Mum.
Oh, God, I'm going to give that boy what for. I rush home early to get his tea. He's not even back from school yet.
You see, Auntie Frida, no one takes no notice of me. They're all too busy worrying about themselves.
No. I know your mother is very concerned about you.
Nah, she's just worried about the shop and Leo in a court case. And Maggie's always out. And there's no one there when I get home from school.
Why is that? Here, come on, sit down.
Well, Mum's got her new look dress. Dad's got his politics. And I just think I'd be better off living with somebody who's got no kids. Somebody, well, you know, like, you.
Oh, Stanley, you know, I'd really like to have you here, but I'll tell you something. I think your mother would kill me.
Well, couldn't I just try it out for a few days? I won't be no trouble. It's the first time I've talked to someone in ages.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
Frida?
Harvey, we're in here.
Stanley, here you are.
Harvey, he wants to stay for a while.
Your mum is going balmy wondering where you got to. You got trouble at school?
Yeah, a bit. I had to take a bit of stick over those papers, you know. And since then it's been Leo in a court case. I'm fed up at home. They don't take no notice of me round there.
But you can't go running away every time life gets a bit rough. A man's gotta stick around, show that he can take it sometimes.
Jimmy
James
Stewart.
Cagney.
Humphrey Bogart.
Uh-huh. I think you need a cup of tea.
Please.
Look, it's no good, Dad.
Your mum's on her own and running the business.
What about Maggie? She's not running a business.
Well, she's grown up, but spread her wings a bit. But they both love you, Stanley. I mean, you should see the state they're in, because they don't know where you are.
Are they?
Of course they are. Best thing we can do is go straight back.
Oh, Dad.
What?
Well, I would. I mean, I'd feel a right idiot if I ran away and didn't even stop out one night.
I'm with you. Tell you what I'll do. I'll sort things out with your mum so you can stay upstairs one night with me and Nan.
Oh, thanks, Dad. That's terrific, that is.
Go upstairs and tell Nan what's going on. Go on.
Thanks, Dad. Bye, Frida.
Night-night. Now, Harvey, I want to talk to you.
All right, so me Humphrey Bogart's not that good?
No. I want to know why you are giving up your job with Dick.
How do you know about that?
He told me.
He should be in broadcasting.
Harvey, he came here to tell me as your friend.
What's he sniffing round here for? He didn't go to the executive committee as my friend, did he?
What he told the executive committee was no secret. It would have been in the papers anyway. You are public property.
Well, you're not. You shouldn't do things behind my back. You should tell me first.
He understands that now, but he says you won't give him a chance to say so.
Maybe he's got a point there.
Have you found another job?
No.
Have you been looking?
No.
Oh, but you can't keep running away every time life gets a bit rough, Harvey Moon.
It's not like that.
Listen, Harvey, I think you're being really stubborn and proud, and that gets you nowhere. Dick says you have a real future in the legal profession. You could become a solicitor's clerk.
Well, I love the way he comes and tells you.
So you won't talk to him?
Ungrateful little bleeder.
Well, be fair, Rick. You have had a lot on your mind.
Yeah, well, I suppose he's got a point, but it's just for one night, mind, right? God, what's he put down here this time?
Here, let me have
No,
a go.
it's all right.
You won't want to stop longer. I was wondering if you'd had second thoughts about the grounds for the divorce, you know, citing me for desertion.
No. What should I?
No reason.
Here. Don't you make your own bed at home?
Yeah, Nan, but that's a proper bed, isn't it?
Oh, well. You want to run away, you've got to rough it a bit, you know. Not that this is exactly rough, is it? You should see what I slept on when I was a girl. Yeah, then. You'll be as snug as a bug. In a rug. There you are. Now, you'll keep nice and warm, because the fire will stay in for a bit yet. Oh, that reminds me. While I think of it, the ashes go in the dustbin down the back, and we keep the coal down there and all.
Well, I've got to make the fire.
You know how to, don't you, Stanley?
Yeah, Nan, but...
Oh, well, making fires is a man's work, Stanley. That'd be your job in the morning. Now, then, what time you got to be at school?
10 to 9.
10 to 9? Oh, well, we better get you up at 7 o'clock. If you're going to light the fire before I get down.
7 o'clock?
You worried about oversleeping, Stanley? No, you'll be all right. This clock goes off like a fire alarm. And I don't want to get up to a cold room, do I, Stanley?
Thanks a lot, Nan.
I've got to admit that we both acted a bit hastily.
Both?
Yeah, you in going to the committee, me in handing him your notice so quick.
All right, agreed.
So, if it's all right with you, I'd like to withdraw my notice.
As a matter of principle. Nothing would give me greater pleasure.
Providing that you help me all you can to become a proper solicitor's clerk.
Yeah, you'll be a great asset to us, Harvey.
Well, in the case of Moon versus Moon, you know how I feel about changing the grounds to desertion. That's all irrelevant now, isn't it?
Is it? Why?
It's adultery, isn't it?
Huh?
She's admitted that she committed adultery with another man on oath, in court. I reckon that's an open and shut case.
My God, you're going to do well in this profession.
Why? Because I've got a legal brain?
No, because you're a devious bastard.